This year, with no prior experience, we managed to buy 3 large properties, completely transform them, and set ourselves for a lifetime of passive income with zero of our own money.
We could never imagine that this was even possible to do. And we did this while we were juggling with a full-time job, growing up our 2.5-year-old daughter, and also dealing with endless challenges, from delayed property sales to unreliable contractors.
In this video, we're going to share with you how we turned our ambitious dream into reality.
We'll take you behind the scenes of our journey, from the wins to the losses to all of the challenges that we had to face along the way.
If you ever wondered how to take control of your future and make your goals happen, no matter how impossible they look like, then this video is for you.
All right, let's get into it.
Hi, I'm Greta.
And I'm Daniil, and together we're the Vnoutchkovs.
And this year we took on a crazy goal to turn our dreams of property investment into reality.
We didn't have any experience in the property industry, but we managed to buy 3 properties this year. And once the renovations are completed, the worth of those properties should be about £2 million. But here's the thing, you don't have to have everything figured out. You just need to have a plan, you need to have the determination, and also the courage to take that first step.
And the best part of it is that we made this happen with zero of our own money, while documenting the whole journey, so we can share not only our wins, but all our challenges, so you could learn from our experience too.
And if you're curious how we did this, or you're starting your property journey, then make sure to subscribe to our channel.
Can you believe it's already end of the year?
Yeah, we're still processing it ourselves, but this year has been one of the most intense, challenging, and also rewarding year of our lives.
Let's rewind to the start of the year. When we were sitting down reflecting on 2023, we thought it was an amazing year, we traveled a lot, we made amazing memories. But when it came to our future, let's be honest, we didn't really move a needle.
Yeah, exactly. So at the end of last year, my mentor asked me to write down the top 3 achievements of the year. And when I had to think about it, I couldn't really come up with anything. Sure, we traveled a lot, we spent a good time together, and we raised our little daughter. But when it comes to the big achievements in life, there was nothing really that stood out. And that was a clear wake-up call for us. So we made the decision not to travel anymore this year. And we told each other, let's just go all in on setting up something for ourselves that will set us up for the rest of our lives.
That something was a property investing. And we set ourselves a goal of buying 3 large properties, convert them into HMOs while generating a passive income along the way. And on a paper, it all seems pretty simple, but we had no idea what we are in for. We sat down and mapped out our vision for the next 3 years, where we want to be and what do we need to do to get there. And then we broke down those goals into yearly goals. And I have to say, we didn't set those goals to be easy. If it's too easy, then it's not challenging. Our big target that we set for this year was to buy 3 large properties, renovate them, and rent them out. Sounds ambitious, right?
But if you stop at the yearly goals, it's too overwhelming. You want to make them more actionables. So we then broke down those yearly goals into quarters. But even then, it felt too broad. So we took a step further and we broke them into the monthly goals.
And that's where it started to click. Monthly goals became more realistic. And from there, we broke it down even further. We started to think, what can we do today to hit our monthly goals? And suddenly, those daily tasks felt doable.
It's like climbing a mountain. When you only focus at the peak, it feels like impossible. But when you break it down into steps, you start to realize, I could take the next step and then the next step.
So that's how we approached it, one step at a time, breaking our big dreams into small, actionable goals. And now we are well on the way, turning our vision into reality.
Alright, so now let's walk through our year. We spent January and February researching the areas where we should be investing. We were running the numbers and also looking into different areas of investments. It took longer than we expected. But then in March, we finally found a great property at auction. And we managed to secure it.
It was exciting, but also nerve-wracking. It was a probate sale, and we were expecting to get the keys in 4 weeks. But that's where the big problem is. The information that you find online not always reflects on reality.
So instead of 12 weeks, it took us 7 months to get the keys of the probate sale. So we ended up getting the keys at the end of September. And the whole period, there was no progress made on that property.
Looking back, we didn't want it to waste any more time. By late spring, we started to stress about our yearly goals. How are we gonna buy those 3 properties at this speed? So that's when we decided, Instead sitting and waiting for the first property, let's buy a second one. And we went straight into searching for a second property.
By May, we found a second property. And let me tell you, the process of this property was so much smoother than the first one. In fact, this property was not even for sale. The way we got it is, the property was on the rental market, we arranged the visit, and when we arranged the visit, we put down an offer on the spot. And the seller was happy to sell us the property. And we ended up getting the keys in July.
The funny thing is that right after getting the keys for property 2, we receive a call saying that the property 1 is finally ready for the exchange. So now instead of one big project, we have 2 massive projects in our hands at once.
And that's where things get tricky. So now we had 2 contracts working on 2 projects, both of them completely different from each other.
Our first contractor started on a project 2 in August. And in the beginning, we thought everything seems okay. But then we quickly realized that the things is just not moving fast enough. We noticed that our contractor is arriving to site late, leaving early, and is just not getting things done.
Then in September, our second contract started working project number 1. And we noticed that he's done more work within a week than the other team within a month.
So we have to make a tough call. We let it go our first contractor and we moved our second team to a second property.
It was the best decision that we made. Project number 2 was our priority, and the reason for that is because we were way further down in the planning application with that project. And the sooner we finish that planning application and finish the property, the sooner we can rent it out. Whereas the first project, we're still going through the initial planning applications.
And the contractors flew through the work. In 2 weeks, they managed to build the loft, insulate it, change the windows, and plasterboard it, and get everything ready for the skimmer. And now they are back working on the project number 1.
It wasn't smooth sailing with the second contractor either. Every single day, you're being faced with challenges. But I think that's just a part of the game within this industry.
Then it hit November, and we knew that our yearly goal is to buy 3 properties. And the 2 properties undergoing renovation, we knew that we still have to buy 1 more house. And when we thought that the things can't get more busier, we secured our 3rd property.
And even though we'll probably just get the keys in January, it still feels like we hit our yearly goal.
3 houses in 1 year, despite all the delays, all the challenges, and all the sleepless nights. And even though our properties are not ready to rent yet, we are way more ahead than when we started, and that's the most important.
This year wasn't just about the wins, it came with a fair share of lessons as well. And the first one was patience. When we first got our first property, we learned quickly that we have to be very patient with the process. But once you get the keys for the first property and you get the work started, you get pretty busy straight away.
And then there is the builders. Managing contractors is definitely not for the weak. It's gonna be stressful, it's gonna be frustrating, and it's gonna test you in the ways you can't imagine.
But we pushed through it. With a full-time job, a 2.5-year-old daughter, and everything else going on, we made it work.
So now let's talk what we learned this year. And the first one is that small daily tasks leads to a big result. So even on the days when it felt like nothing is moving forward, we constantly reminded ourselves that every step forward counts.
Then you have creative finance makes it possible. So we started off with £0 of our own money being used by using bridging finance and private investors. You don't need to have deep pockets to make it possible. All you need to have is a solid plan and the confidence to present it.
It's hard at the beginning, but it becomes easier. Once you start your first project, you don't really know much about anything. But once you completed your first project, you know more or less what you expect from your second project. As well, over time, you get more connections so you can build a stronger team around yourself.
Then you learn the most by just doing it. You can take all the courses and read all of the books about a specific topic, but you learn the most by just doing the first project. You learn so much more this way, and you're also being challenged on all fronts. You just need to keep calm and solve your problems on a daily basis.
The next one, be ready to adapt. Things not always gonna go your way, from switching the contractors to overlapping projects. And we learn to be flexible and make quick decisions daily.
Another important element is to surround yourself with the right influences. And this does not have to be the direct environment. This can be the people that you follow on Instagram or YouTube, for example. This then shows you how they're moving forward, how they're hitting the targets, and how they're overcoming the obstacles. and they should give you some kind of a motivation to hit your goals.
And the last one is see it to believe. When you meet the people who achieved what you want, it helps you to believe that you can achieve that too. And once you see it, it becomes your reality.
And here's the truth. You just have to go for it. What's the worst thing that can happen? You just have to get out of your comfort zone in order to grow.
For us, there was no plan B. We decided it has to work, and this mindset helped us push through every challenge. And yeah, some of our family thought we are crazy, but we believed in ourselves. And that belief gave us strength to push forward even on the hardest days.
If there's one thing that we learned, is that anything is possible, as long as you stay committed and you take that first step.
Thinking back where we were by the end of 2023 is like day and night. Last year we were traveling, making memories, having fun, but we not really built anything lasting.
This year we made sacrifices. We worked like crazy, skipped all of the holidays, but we ended up with 3 more properties in our portfolio. And these houses will be generating our passive income for the rest of our lives.
And now when we look back, we realize that it's only the beginning of what is possible. And 2025 is going to be even better.
In 2025, we'll be doubling our goals. We'll be getting more properties, bigger projects, and we'll also be learning more lessons. And as we take on those bigger goals for next year, we'll be documenting the whole journey, from the highs to the lows and everything in between. And if we can make an impact on even one person, that's a win for us.
So if you're watching this and thinking about starting your own journey, remember, it's not easy, but it's worth it. And go for it, taking one step at a time.
The best time to start was yesterday, and the second best time was today. So better take action. And if you're interested in seeing the progress that we're making on project number 1, then make sure to check out this video here.
Thank you so much for being part of our journey, and here's to even a better 2025.
Thank you so much for watching.
Happy New Year, and we will see you in the next one.